Ladies and gentlemen, life is constantly moving forward. The question is, are you moving with it? Or are you stuck, holding on to something that no longer belongs to you? Too often we cling to the past like a security blanket, convincing ourselves that if we analyze it enough, if we dwell on it long enough, we'll find the closure we seek. But here's the truth. Not everything in life comes with an explanation. Not every person who hurt you will apologize. Not every failure will have a satisfying conclusion, and that's okay. Because closure is not something given, it is something you choose. The past is a powerful teacher, but it was never meant to be a prison. Too often we find ourselves trapped in memories of mistakes, heartbreaks, and disappointments, allowing them to define who we are today. We replay past failures like a broken record, convincing ourselves that if we analyze them just a little longer, we'll find the answers we need. But the truth is, no amount of reflection can change what has already happened. The past is a lesson, one that is meant to guide us, not chain us. Think about it. If you touch a hot stove and burn your hand, do you keep touching it, hoping the pain will go away? No. You learn from the experience and move forward with caution. Yet, when it comes to emotional pain, many of us do the opposite. We relive the hurt, the betrayal, and the disappointment, as if doing so will somehow make it easier to bear. But all this does is prolong our suffering. Growth comes when we acknowledge the lesson and move on, rather than allowing it to consume us. Some people hold on to the past because they believe it gives them control. They think that by revisiting an old wound, they can finally make sense of it. But the past doesn't owe you an explanation. It doesn't always give you closure, nor does it always provide justice. What it does give you is an opportunity to either let it define you or to use it as fuel to become stronger. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean pretending that painful experiences never happened. It means choosing to no longer let them dictate your present or your future. It means recognizing that you have the power to rewrite your story at any moment. The past may have shaped you, but it does not have to control you. Every day you spend dwelling on what was is a day you lose in creating what could be. Life moves forward, and so should you. Take the lessons, carry the wisdom, but leave behind the weight of regret. You are not bound by yesterday's mistakes. You are free to embrace today with strength, courage, and an open heart. The past has already played its part. Now, it's time for you to take control of what happens next. We often believe that closure is something external, something that must come from another person, an explanation or a final conversation that ties everything together. We convince ourselves that if we just had one more chance to talk, to understand, or to make things right, we could finally move on. But life doesn't always give us that chance. Sometimes the apology never comes. The explanation remains unknown. The loose ends never get tied up. And if we wait for closure to come from the outside, we may be waiting forever. The hard truth is that closure is not something given. It is something you create for yourself. It is a decision, not a gift from someone else. We hold ourselves back, thinking we need a perfect ending before we can let go, but in reality, we hold all the power. We don't need someone else to acknowledge our pain for us to heal. We don't need permission to move on. The only thing we truly need is the courage to accept what has happened and make peace with the fact that some chapters in life will always remain unfinished. Think about it. How many times have you replayed a situation in your mind, hoping that a different outcome would appear? How many sleepless nights have you spent imagining a conversation that never happened? The energy spent wishing for closure is energy wasted. The more you wait, the more you allow the past to control you. The longer you hold on, the more power you give to something that no longer exists. Truth closure comes from within. It comes from deciding that your peace is more important than your past. It comes from understanding that you don't need all the answers to move forward. Maybe you were wronged. Maybe things ended unfairly. Maybe you will never know why it happened the way it did. But dwelling on the what-ifs and whys will only chain you to a moment that no longer serves you. You have the ability to close the door on what no longer belongs in your life. Not because everything makes sense, but because you deserve to move forward without being weighed down by unfinished business. The past may never give you the closure you think you need, but that doesn't mean you can't give it to yourself. It's time to stop waiting. It's time to move on. In life, we often find ourselves holding on to things that no longer serve us. Old wounds, toxic relationships, regrets, self-doubt, or even outdated dreams. We cling to them because they feel familiar, because we are afraid of change, or because we believe that letting go means we have failed. But the reality is, carrying unnecessary weight only slows us down. If something is not adding value to your life, it is taking value away. It is time to release what no longer serves you. Holding on to pain and resentment does not heal you. It only keeps the wound open. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones from your past. Every bad memory, every betrayal, every failure, and every regret adds another stone. The longer you hold onto them, the heavier they become. Eventually, that weight becomes unbearable. You struggle to move forward because you are too burdened by what you refuse to let go of. The only way to find freedom is to start removing those stones, one by one. The same applies to people in your life. Some relationships are meant to last a lifetime, while others serve a purpose and then naturally fade away. Yet many people hold on to toxic relationships out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of confrontation, or fear of the unknown. But staying in an environment that drains you emotionally, mentally, or even physically does not protect you. It only prevents you from growing. You deserve to surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, not those who keep you stuck in cycles of negativity. Letting go does not mean you are giving up. It means you are making space for something better. It means you recognize your worth and refuse to settle for anything less than what you deserve. Growth requires change. Ask yourself, is what you are holding on to helping you become the best version of yourself? If not, why are you still carrying it? The things, people, and mindsets that no longer serve you are not meant to stay. When you release them, you create room for new opportunities, new experiences, and a future filled with possibility. The past has already given you its lessons. Now it's time to let go and step into the life that is waiting for you. The change requires the courage to leave behind what no longer aligns with your future. Life is always changing, whether we like it or not. Seasons shift, people come and go, and the world around us moves forward at a relentless pace. Yet many of us resist change, holding on to what is familiar, even when it no longer serves us. We cling to old habits, outdated beliefs, and past versions of ourselves because they feel safe. But the truth is, while change is inevitable, growth is a choice. You cannot stay the same and expect different results. If you want to evolve, you must be willing to embrace the discomfort of transformation. Many people fear change because it brings uncertainty. The unknown can feel intimidating. After all, stepping into something new means leaving behind what is familiar. But imagine if a caterpillar refused to leave its cocoon because it was afraid of what lay ahead. It would never become the butterfly it was meant to be. In the same way, if you resist change, you deny yourself the opportunity to grow into the person you are capable of becoming. Growth does not happen by accident. It happens when you make a conscious decision to adapt, to learn, and to push beyond your comfort zone. Staying in the same place mentally, emotionally, or professionally might feel safe, but it also keeps you stagnant. If you do not actively seek growth, life will force it upon you in ways you may not expect. Sometimes, change comes in the form of loss, hardship, or unexpected challenges. While these moments can be painful, they often serve as catalysts for personal transformation. The most successful people in life are not those who avoid change, but those who learn to navigate it with resilience and an open mind. If you want to grow, you must be willing to let go of the fear that holds you back. Growth requires risk. It means trying new things, failing, learning, and trying again. It means being open to new perspectives and allowing yourself to evolve. The people who thrive in life are those who embrace change, understanding that every new experience, good or bad, teaches them something valuable. You have the power to decide whether change will break you or build you. If you resist it, you will struggle, but if you embrace it, you will discover strength, wisdom, and opportunities you never imagined. The choice is yours. Will you remain where you are, or will you step forward and grow? Forgiveness is one of the most powerful yet misunderstood acts of personal freedom. Many people believe that forgiving someone means excusing their behavior or pretending that the pain they caused never happened. This misconception keeps countless individuals trapped in bitterness, resentment, and anger, believing that holding on to these emotions gives them control. But the truth is, forgiveness is not for the other person. It is for you. It is not about letting them off the hook. It is about freeing yourself from the emotional chains that keep you stuck in the past. When someone wrongs you, it is natural to feel hurt. Pain is a human response to betrayal, disappointment, and injustice. However, the real damage does not come from the event itself, but from how long you choose to carry the pain with you. Imagine holding a burning coal in your hand, intending to throw it at the person who hurt you. The longer you hold on to it, the more it burns you, not them. Resentment works the same way. It does nothing to the person who hurt you, but it slowly consumes your happiness, peace, and emotional well-being. Forgiving does not mean forgetting. It does not mean the person who hurt you deserves another chance. It does not mean you have to welcome them back into your life. It simply means that you refuse to allow their actions to control your emotions any longer. Forgiveness is a choice to release the anger and pain so you can move forward without carrying the weight of the past. Many people resist forgiveness because they feel that by letting go, they are allowing the other person to win. But what is the real victory? Is it holding on to anger so tightly that it poisons your happiness? Or is it reclaiming your power by refusing to let someone else dictate your emotional state? True strength is found in choosing peace over pain, in moving forward rather than remaining stuck in resentment. Forgiveness is not easy, and it does not happen overnight. It is a process of healing, of choosing again and again to release the burden. But when you finally do, you will feel lighter, stronger, and free. You deserve peace. You deserve happiness, and you deserve to walk into your future without the shadows of past hurts weighing you down. Let go, not for them, but for yourself. Too often we let our past define us. We carry mistakes, failures, and disappointments like heavy baggage, believing that they are permanent marks on our identity. We tell ourselves that because we failed once, we will fail again. That because we were hurt, we will always be broken. That because we were rejected, we are not worthy. But this is a lie. Your past is something you have been through, not something you are. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not the pain you have experienced. You are what you choose to become next. Think about a book. No single chapter defines the entire story. If the protagonist faces hardship in one chapter, does that mean the rest of the book will be the same? No. It is the same with life. Just because you made poor choices before does not mean you are incapable of making better ones now. Just because you experienced heartbreak does not mean love is out of reach. Just because you failed once does not mean success is impossible. The only thing that determines your future is your willingness to move forward despite what has happened in the past. Many people stay stuck because they allow negative experiences to shape their self-image. They think, I failed, so I must be a failure. But failure is an event, not a person. You can fall and get back up. You can make mistakes and learn from them. You can be hurt and still find happiness again. Growth is always possible, but only if you refuse to let your past define you. One of the most powerful things you can do is change the story you tell yourself. Instead of saying, I always mess up, say, I am learning and improving. Instead of saying, I am broken, say, I am healing and growing stronger. Instead of saying, I am not good enough, say, I am capable and I am working towards my goals. Your words and thoughts shape your reality. If you keep telling yourself that you are stuck, you will be. But if you start believing that you have the power to change, you will take the steps needed to do so. You are not your past. You are your potential. Your future is still unwritten, and you hold the pen. Choose to define yourself by what you do next, not by what has already happened. The future belongs to those who are willing to take risks, embrace uncertainty, and push forward despite fear. It does not belong to those who dwell on the past, waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal conditions to take action. It belongs to the brave, the ones who refuse to let past failures, disappointments, or fears dictate their future. The truth is, success, happiness, and fulfillment are not reserved for the lucky or the privileged. They are earned by those who dare to move forward, even when the road ahead is unclear. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to progress. Many people stay in their comfort zones because stepping into the unknown feels risky. They let the fear of failure, rejection, or making the wrong decision hold them back from pursuing their dreams. But here's the reality. There is no success without risk. Every great achievement in history was made possible by someone who chose to act despite their fear. The people who change the world, who build incredible careers, and who create meaningful lives are not those who never felt fear, but those who refused to let it stop them. Think about the moments in life when you felt truly alive. Were they moments of hesitation, or were they moments of action? The biggest regrets people have are not the things they tried and failed at, but the things they never tried at all. Playing it safe might seem like the logical choice, but it often leads to a life filled with what-ifs and missed opportunities. The only way to build a future that excites you is to step into it with courage. Bravery is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. It is choosing growth over comfort, action over hesitation, and faith over doubt. It means taking responsibility for your life and believing in your ability to shape your future. No one is coming to hand you your dreams. No one will create your future for you. It is up to you to take the first step, no matter how small. The world does not wait for those who hesitate. It rewards those who are bold enough to take action. The future belongs to the brave. Are you ready to claim it?